All right, hey guys, Mr. Reardon here. I'm going to show you how to follow the MLA checklist and format your essay in MLA format. So we're going to go ahead and look at the first requirement. That is a heading contains all required elements. That means we need a heading. We want to be sure the heading does not end up in the header of the document. You don't want it here. No, not here. You want it to be just above the space where the text is. So I'm going to say a fake name, Embarcadero, Jeremiah, and then teacher's name, so Mr. Reardon, and then class, so English 9A, period 7, and the due date, we'll just pretend the due date is 04 November 16. Okay, we have a heading, maybe a title. I don't know what the title would be, so I'm just going to write title for now. Okay, so we've done that. Looking back over at the MLA checklist, requirement number 2, heading uses correct punctuation. So we have a comma between the last name and the first name, a period after the Mr., a comma after 9A, no punctuation at all in date. Requirement number 3, heading does not use abbreviations. Okay, no part of the name is abbreviated, it's the full name. Mr. can be abbreviated, that's fine, no one ever spells it out. We can, English 9A being abbreviated is actually okay too, because we don't really know what that A is supposed to stand for. But period should be spelled out, and then it should be 04 or whatever the date is, the whole date, and then the whole month, November 2016. Okay, handle those. Fourth requirement. Papers written in Times New Roman size 12 font. Well, this clearly is Arial size 11, so we need to change that. I'm on a Windows computer, so I can do Control A. It might work on a Chromebook, and I think it's Command A on a MacBook. You can select all. And then you're going to go up here to the font window and click on Times New Roman. It'll change everything to Times New Roman for you. And then we're still on size 11. We need it to be 12. So Control A again. Up here where it says font size, you've got the 11. You can select 12 or type it in if you like. Now we have the right font size. Okay, paper is double spaced, our fifth requirement. Okay, select all. We're going to go up here to format, and then line spacing is about halfway down, and then choose double, and it will double space everything. You want to be sure you don't have any extra space between the heading and the title, and any extra space between the title and the first paragraph. It should be double spaced uniformly throughout. All right, our sixth requirement is that we have the last name and page number in the upper right corner. So you can't just go in and type your last name and a page number in the header, because it'll be the same on every page, and we want the page number to increase for each page we go through. So we actually have to go Insert up here, and then down to Page Number, and we'll click on this first option right here on the upper left. So we got a page number. You have to bring the cursor in front of the page number and then type your last name. For this paper, it's going to be Embarcadero, and one space between the last name and the page number. Now this is tricky. You need to remember to do this. If you don't, the top of your essay might cut this off. So you have to hit Enter twice with the cursor in front of your last name. And of course, you'll notice if you look at the font here, that's not in Times New Roman size 12. So you actually have to change the header separately from Arial to Times New Roman, and then the size from 11 to 12. It'll do that for you throughout. And now if we look down at the second page here, has a last name, page 2, also in Times New Roman. So that's perfect. All right. Our seventh requirement, our paragraphs need to be indented. To indent paragraphs, you'll just put the cursor right where the paragraph starts, hit your tab key one time. Find another paragraph. Hey, this paragraph's already indented, cool. And that's it. We've only got 2 paragraphs here so far. So We need to make sure our margins are 1 inch on all sides. We actually do that here in File. Go all the way down as the second to last option, Page Setup. We get to choose our margins. The default for Google Docs is actually 1 inch on all sides, so we're good there. But you might want to make sure when you're writing your essays that your margins didn't get messed up somehow. That's fine. Click OK. Let's see. We are looking at the 9th requirement. Our title needs to be centered. Hey, look, our title's already centered. If you type a title on the left side, in order to center it, you just go up here to these alignment buttons and you press the center one. It'll center things for you. You want to be sure you only do that to the title, though. Don't do that to the whole essay. Okay, we want to make sure nothing is bolded or underlined. We don't want a bolded title. We don't want an underlined title. We don't want the title to be bigger than the rest of the text. It needs to be size 12, not bold or underlined throughout. Okay, titles of our works need to be, so that's like the book or the play or the short story or the journal article that we're using. So here, where this essay happens to be about a play, The Taming of the Shrew. So as you see here, The Taming of the Shrew is italicized. Now, if it weren't, we would actually have to go up, select it with the mouse, and then go up here and select the I right here that says italic. If we just click on that, it would make it italic. If we click on it again here, it would make it no longer italic, but we don't want that. So shorter stories will need to be in quotes. The Taming of the Shrew is a whole play, so it's italicized. But so we need italics here. 12th requirement, our parenthetical citations are present and they're accurate. So this is a parenthetical citation. It's the most important thing to note here is that the quote ends with the word contract. And then we have our quotation marks there with no spaces. And then we have one space after the quotation marks, right here, one space. And then you have the open parentheses, the author's last name of whatever source it is you're using, one space, the page number of the source, close the page number, and then a period. What you don't want to do is put the page number on the inside of these parentheses, of this quote. It has to go after the citation. All right, 13, works cited. We are going to go down to works cited here. So the works cited should be on its own page, and it should start at the very beginning of that page. So I just had to move it up a little bit. I am looking at the works cited page here. So just looking at the works cited itself indicates that the citations look good. Your teacher will teach you about different tools you might use, like Noodle Tools or EasyBib or Google Scholar to help you create citations. We're not going to talk about that in this video, but I have citations and we can just assume they're good for now. But I want to show you how to format them. So right now, these are all flush with, they're all aligned with the left margin, but that's actually not what we want. Each citation should have one line right flush with the left margin, and all the lines below will be indented once. And you'll notice that you can't just press tab here and get it to be indented. It doesn't work. Instead, you have to go up to this tiny, tiny little blue shape here. And what you want to do is you want to grab the triangle and you want to drag it over to 1/2 inch. It's this little mark right here. And then, once you do that, then you'll take the little block on top of the triangle, and you'll drag it all the way back. And there it is. Now the line below the first line is indented, but the first one is not. All right. Same thing. The second one, take the triangle, drag it over to 1/2 inch. Take the cursor, put it at the first line again, and then drag the blue one over and drop it, and we're good. And the last one is only one line, so we don't need to worry about doing any formatting with that. All right, our works cited page now looks good. Number 14, paper's not printed double-sided. We don't need to worry about that right now, but just be sure that when you're turning in a formal paper to your teacher that you don't double-side it. It's generally just it's a formality. When you get sample papers from your teacher, they might be double-sided to save paper, but just know that this is kind of an expectation for you. 15th requirement: paper bodies align with the left margin. You can, if you look at your paper and onto the left side here, you will see that that all of these lines are aligned. Now, if that were not the case, all you would have to do is go to the top here, or select everything, and then go to the top here and press this button. And that would make everything be aligned at left. And that's generally the expectation. If you want to justify your paper, and what I mean by justify is take this and select it, and then and have it be aligned on both sides, you could do that. And you would just press this button right here, and it makes it perfectly aligned on both sides. But you don't have to do that. So I'm actually going to undo that right now. Control Z will undo things if you make a little mistake. All right. Now our 16th requirement is to have a word count. So we don't have a word count right now, and we need one. Click down here at the very bottom. This is the last line of the essay before the works cited. We would just type the words word count, capital W, capital C, and a colon, one space. We need to know how many words there are. There are a few different ways to do this. There are word counters online, but I'm just going to select all of the text. I'm not going to select the title or the heading, just the text of the essay itself, and not works cited either. We need to find the word count tool here. So up on tools, and then you'll click tools, and then it's the fifth one down, click word count, and it will tell you how many words you've selected. So I've selected 424 of the 500 words on this page. That 500 includes everything, including the heading and the works cited and all of the words. So I'm just going to take that number 424 and type it there. All right. So this is all of the requirements for MLA format. If you take a look at the MLA format sample handout with all of the green lettering on it, you'll see the numbers and pointing to the right essay parts and all of the requirements in a visual format that will help you not only to format your video, but also, or to format your paper, but also better understand this video. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful.